Hello everybody, this is Di Antinatalist, and this is a little bit different than my usual posts. However, there was something in the book that really just made me laugh, and just, you know, I won't give it away what really made me laugh, but you'll probably, you know, if you're oriented like I am, you will probably understand. And, you know, back in the day, this book was from 1942. Back in the day, children, you know, had a different value than they do now. So anyway, The Selfish Fox. Christmas, 1942. A present for a good child. Well, aren't they all good? If you know what really made me laugh, or why I felt this book was so cool, post it down below. I really loved the graphics and the art, and the creativity of this book just blows me away. And I have never heard of it before. About 20 years before I was born. The Selfish Fox. There once was an old fox whose name was Toby. He lived all alone in the woods. Nobody liked Toby very much because he always wanted everything for himself. One day he was digging near an old stump. He always carried an old calico bag with him. But today the bag was empty. All at once, while he was digging, out flew a bumblebee. "Ha," said Toby, "I want that bumblebee." So he sat very quietly by the stump, and in a minute the little bumblebee went back into the hole to get some honey. Then Toby caught him and put him in the bag. He slung the bag over his shoulder and walked along. In a short time he came to a house and knocked at the door. A woman opened the door and peeped out at him. "May I leave my bag here while I go to Skookums?" said the fox. The woman was deaf, so Toby had to ask again. "May I leave my bag here while I go to Skookums?" Now, this is like so bizarre, because if she was deaf, she couldn't hear in the first place, and I don't think they read lips back then. "Yes," said the woman, "but whatever you do, don't open the bag," said Toby. I would say hard of hearing, but not quite deaf. The woman watched the fox walking down the road, and as soon as he was out of sight, she picked up the bag. "Now I wonder what is in it," she said. "I think I'll just peep inside very carefully." So she did. At first she couldn't see anything, so she opened the bag a little bit wider, and out flew the big bumblebee, buzzing loudly. Zoom, zoom, for he was angry. He made so much noise the big rooster heard him and came running across the flower beds, dashed at the big bumblebee, and ate him up. Before long, Toby came back. "Where is my bumblebee?" he said. "I just opened the bag a little wee bit," said the woman, "and the bumblebee flew out, and my big rooster ate him up." "Then I'll have to have the rooster," said the Selfish Fox. And as I noticed that they misspelled selfish. I am so good at spotting a flaw. I wish I could be a proofreader for every single thing in the world. I have caught menus. I have caught the Baltimore Aquarium making a banner that was misspelled. selfish. It's missing an eye. So he caught the rooster without much trouble and put him in the bag and walked down the road. When he came to the next house, there was a woman pumping water to fill her tea kettle. Toby said to her, "May I leave my bag here while I go to Skookum's?" "I guess so," said the woman. "Be sure not to open the bag," said the fox. The woman went into the house and filled her tea kettle, and then she came out again and picked up the bag. "I wonder what is in it," she said. "I'll just take a little peep and see." So she opened the bag, and out flew the rooster. And no sooner was he out than the pig came running after him and ate him up. In a short time, Toby came back. He picked up the bag and looked into it. He was very angry when he saw the bag was empty. "Where's my rooster?" he said. "I just opened the bag a tiny bit," said the woman, "and the rooster flew out and the pig ate him." "All right," said the selfish fox. "Then I'll have the pig." So he caught the pig and, putting him in the bag, started off down the road. You know, I will say one thing. I wouldn't exactly call this fox selfish. I would call him, you know, other things than selfish. But the thing is that the fox really felt entitled to take these animals because the person who was keeping watch on his bag violated his trust and betrayed him. So I guess taking something in exchange is not really the definition of selfish, but it's a great story anyway. At the next house, there was a woman scrubbing her porch. The fox walked up to the house and said, "May I leave my bag here while I go to Skookum's?" "Yes," said the woman. "Be sure not to open the bag," said Toby. As soon as the fox was out of sight, the woman stopped scrubbing and picked up the bag. "I would like to know what the fox is carrying around in this bag," she said. "I'll just open it a little wee bit." But she opened it too wide. Out jumped the pig, and the cow ate him up. When the fox came back and saw the bag was empty, he was very angry. "Where is my pig?" he said. And the woman said, "I just opened the bag a tiny bit, and the pig jumped out, and the cow ate him." "Well then," said the selfish fox, "I'll just have to have that cow." So he caught the cow, crowded her into the bag, and walked off, dragging the bag after him. At the next house, there was a woman hanging up clothes. Toby said to her, "May I leave my bag here while I go to Skookum's?" "Yes," said the woman. "But don't open the bag," said the fox. However, he was hardly out of sight when the woman untied the bag. "I'll just take one little peep inside," she said. Of course, the cow got out and began to run, and the woman's little boy chased her over the fields. Bad boy. Very soon, Toby came back. "Where is my cow?" he said. "The cow got out," said the woman, "and my little boy chased her away off." "All right then," said the selfish old fox. "I'll just take the little boy." So he put the little boy into the bag and walked off. Like he has value. When he reached the next house, the woman came to the door, and Toby said, "May I leave my bag here while I go to Skookum's?" "Certainly," said the woman. "But don't open the bag," said the fox. The woman had a rolling pin in her hands. She was making cookies, and her children were begging for some. "Please, mother," said one little girl, "please give me a cookie." "Please give me a cookie," said the others. And all at once the little boy in the bag stretched up his hands and said, "I want to get out. Please let me out and give me a cookie too." The mother was very much surprised to hear a little boy calling from the bag, and very quickly untied it and let him out. She gave him 2 cookies. Then she thought she would play a joke on the old fox. So she put the house dog in the bag and tied the bag up again. Before long, the fox came back. He saw that the bag was tied tight, so he slung it over his shoulder and walked over the hills until he came to the deep woods. Then he sat down and opened the bag. He thought the little boy was in it, but the little boy was safe and happy eating cookies with the other children. And when the selfish old Toby opened the bag, the house dog jumped out and ate him all up. The dog had more value than anybody. The end. So this was Peter Rabbit series, and I remember several of these. In fact, most of these books as a child. Me and my brother, we really, really liked Little Black Sambo. That was great. Loved that book. Little pancakes and the butter and Little Black Sambo. That was my favorite. Of course, everybody knows all these. 3 Little Kittens, 3 Bears, the Little Small Red Hen. Don't know if I remember that story. And the 3 Little Pigs. Everybody knows 3 Little Pigs. So, anyway, thank you for watching my video. This was 35 cents in 1942. I thought it was hilarious.